Hey friends, it's Ruben with Hi-Fi MIDI. A user asked a great question about my FunkStrummer MIDI pack working with Shreddage 3 Stratus. The short answer is no. The longer answer is that it can be used as a starting point, but you'll have to make a few adjustments within Stratus and the MIDI file for it to sound good. Here's the original FunkStrummer MIDI file with Ample Guitar Stratocaster. And here's what happens when you use that with Stratus 3 without making any adjustments. Now obviously there are some major issues with this. So I asked myself, Ruben, how can you make this sound better? This led me on a short trek through the Stratus user manual, which is always a nice way to spend my time. I get to learn more about a product and often find something that was overlooked. So I'm going to show you how to go from this to this with a few tweaks. Before giving you the solution, let me explain why it sounds terrible. Stratus uses different key switches and CC numbers in Ample Sound, so the solution comes down to adjusting them or translating them so that the MIDI files work with Stratus. Let's locate the problem key switches. I'm going to double click on these MIDI regions to open up the MIDI editor. And right away you can see on the top we have our Ample Sound key switches, which are supposed to trigger the muted strokes. They're different in Stratus. And here are the chords. And down here are the Ample Sound 4-string key switches. We're going to get rid of these first. We don't need those. Then we're going to get rid of the notes on the top, leaving the blue notes, which are on G5. We'll move those later. These are going to be the muted strokes, so we need that rhythm in there. Next, we're going to get rid of the sustain. So if your sustain automation is not open yet, go ahead and open it up. It's CC64. Click on the first note and delete it. And then click on the second one. Great. Now let's open up Stratus 3. I'm going to go ahead and set it to Funk Clean preset. And we'll make adjustments to the sound because I'm still not a big fan of the sound of the guitar. And let's go ahead and listen to it. Now notice that the chord is all over the place, which is unrealistic for a guitar player. I wanted to use the same voicing as before. There's a feature here called poly input latency. What it does is that when you raise it, it gives the engine more time to think so that it can play back a natural position. I'm going to set this to about 35 milliseconds, and you'll see down here in the poly input window your value. So now when I play it back, it has time to think about that chord, and it's going to give a better voicing. Great. Next, I want to set picking mode to alternate. I would think that if you're going to strum up and down, that you'll want to set it to alternate. Now we're going to go to strumming. Make sure that the strum speed map is set to CC. The reason for this is because you don't want the note velocity to change the strum timing. But it may not matter after all, since we already have the notes laid out. Strum volume is going to be set to CC as well, so we're going to control strum volume with CC channel 7. And then make this key switchable. We might not even need this. We need to figure out what type of articulations we need. So I have a long chord right here, which is sustain. Then I have a short one, which is staccato. And then we have chokes. So let's go ahead and open this up and find those. Under articulations, you can see that sustain is set to C0, staccato set to E0, and choke is set to G sharp 0. So we're going to have to add those key switches into our MIDI file. So I'll go ahead and open up my MIDI edit window so you can see this. So down here, I'm going to add C0 for sustain, staccato, choke, staccato, choke, staccato, and choke. Let's listen to that. So I'm not hearing the staccato sound on this chord, which is concerning. As far as these notes right here, I need to move them up to G sharp and A sharp. If they're on a downstroke beat, they're going to be G sharp. If they're on an upstroke, it's going to be A. Notice that the strum speed sounds slow. This is because in the plugin, strum speed map is set to CC2. So we need to go into our CC lane, go to 2, and set it kind of high. And that fixes that. But we want these to sound like chokes, not like chords. Let's go ahead and play this. Okay, that sounds better already. I feel like the chokes sound a little loud. I want them to be shorter too. So I'm going to go into articulations, click on choke, and we're going to adjust the settings on this. I'm going to go ahead and play this in a loop, and I'm going to adjust the settings. You might notice that the rhythm feels off. That's because I adjusted the latency here to 35 milliseconds. That means I have to compensate by going over here to track delay and setting that to negative 35 milliseconds. And now it's going to be in sync. Still feels a little late, so I might drag it down a little bit more. Maybe negative 40. And there's some frequencies in the playback that really bug my ear. So I'm going to try to tone it down a little bit. I'm going to open up Ozone EQ. This is Ozone 11. And the reason I like using this is because I get to solo certain frequencies. That way I can find the problem one. So I'm going to set a bell. And I'm going to set it to about 3 plus gain, and then solo it, and then sweep through. So you want to play it until it grates your ears. I think it's right there. So I'm going to lower that. And then unsolo it. There might be a few more frequencies in there that need taming. Okay, let's listen to it with the whole band. That sounds much better than before. This process takes way less time than what I'm showing here, but I want to go through bit by bit so I can show you the reasoning behind it. You could experiment with different tones, different pickup settings. If enough people request a Stratus version of my FunkStrummer, I will create individual files for it. Well, friends, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you're new to my channel, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell to stay up to date with my latest content. Leave a comment below telling me what you thought about this video. And please visit HiFiMIDI.com for MIDI packs, MIDI programming tutorials, and Ample Sound courses. Thanks for watching.